Yo, guys, Justin James here with the 10-7. And after an incredible UFC 323 that I got to be there in person live, hear all the action, all the energy from the crowd from start to finish. Man, I tell you what an incredible main event where we had Petr Yan taking on Merab. And this fight did not disappoint. Petr Yan came in with an impeccable game plan, stuffed 27 takedowns through. Merab had 29 takedown attempts, only landing 2 of them. Petr Yan had 9 takedown attempts, landing 5 of them. Merab had high output on the striking like he did in the first fight. He had like 480 punches thrown. But I tell you what, this fight was all Petr Yan. Impeccable game plan from start to finish. You know, like I always say, it's really tough to beat someone like Petr Yan once, but let alone to do it twice. And what Petr Yan has done in his career, taking a couple losses, you know, to Aljamain Sterling, you know, Sean O'Malley, Merab, and to bounce back from all this and now be crowned the UFC Bantamweight champion is nothing short of incredible. Now, as much as I'm bummed out about this matchup or about this fight, I love Petr Yan, I love Merab, but I really want to see Merab get, you know, his fifth fight in the bantamweight division within a year. You know, when guys shoot for great guys, I always root for him. And Merab is such an incredible person in the cage, out of the cage, regardless of him being a decision machine. He has a high output from start to finish. I love his press conferences. I love the things he does outside of the cage. Then you have someone like Petr Yan who looked like an assassin. Personally, as bummed out as I am with this outcome, I'm not that bummed because this outcome brings so many more matchups to the UFC than if Merab won, because Merab right now, unfortunately, was at a rinse and repeat cycle where, you know, they're looking at a rematch with Umar. He's already beat Sean twice. He beat Corey Sandhagen, you know, beat Marlon Vera. You know, there are plenty of guys that he's beaten. But now that we have Petr Yan in the mix, we just have so many more matchups that we can talk about. Do you think, I'm asking the crowd the fans of the 10-7, do you think Merab is going to get an immediate rematch? Because there are some incredible things that are happening. Currently, where we stand in the division, we have our champion, Petr Yan. You know, he just won a decision against Merab. And then we have Umar Nurmagomedov. His last win was a decision against Mauro Batista. His next fight's against Deiveson Figueiredo coming up January 24th. You know, a lot of title implications in this fight. Mauro Batista, you know, really hot right now. Or excuse me, Deiveson Figueiredo and Umar very hot right now. I think this is a favorable matchup for Umar. I think they want to get him this win to give him the next title shot. You got Sean O'Malley. You know, his last fight he lost to Merab. His next fight he's taking on Song Yadong on the 24th with Umar. So, I mean, potentially they could give Merab the immediate rematch, take the winner of Umar and Deiveson, fight the winner of Sean O'Malley and Song Yadong, and almost do like a 4-man tournament for #1 contendership. Another guys we have to look at, Corey Sandhagen. Last fight lost to Merab back in October. Doesn't have a next fight scheduled, but always an exciting fighter that brings it from start to finish. And you have Song Yadong, who just beat Henry Cejudo by technical decision. Like I mentioned, his next fight is with Sean O'Malley. A lot of guys, you know, Peyton Talbot in the bantamweight division fighting Henry Cejudo, putting a clinic on, retiring our former Olympic and double UFC champion Henry Cejudo. You know, I can see Peyton Talbot getting in there late next year. But right now, guys, there's only 2 things I want to see. And I want to see Merab get his immediate rematch. Again, Merab was going for great, taking on this very, very tough matchup. You know, Umar is already booked for January. Sean O'Malley is already booked for January. Song Yadong already booked for January. You know, Deiveson Figueiredo already booked for January. And, man, look at these matchups. Merab obviously dropping down to #1. Umar, who's already lost to Merab. Sean O'Malley, who's already lost to Merab twice. Corey Sandhagen already lost to Merab. Song Yadong, if he comes out and, you know, beats Sean O'Malley, I mean, he's right there, you know, being our former champion. Guys, there's just so many great things to come in. A bunch of you know, this Ayman Zaibai, which I know I'm pronouncing that. I'm butchering his name right now, but he's definitely can be in the mix. You know, we look, man, it's one of the deepest divisions in the UFC. You know, the 38-year-old Ayman doesn't exactly scream new face in the UFC. He's 38 years old, but I tell you what, very, very tough guy, tough prospect, could be shot into the top 5 here really, really soon. And honestly, I'd love to see that four-person little tournament for the shot at the next. Like I said, I think Merab is going to be ready probably by February to take on Petr Yan for their best of 3 match. And then you take the other 4 guys, Umar, Sean, Song Yadong, and Figueiredo. You do the 4-man tournament, and you see Umar taking on Figueiredo. And I think that's such a mismatch. I think Umar is heavily favored in that fight. I think he's going to smash him. I think he could get the finish. I think that's the UFC kind of getting Umar ready to take on the UFC champ, whether it's Petr Yan, whether it's Merab. And you look on the other side, Song Yadong, up-and-coming prospect, taking on former champion. Man, what a great matchup to see Umar. I think Umar's a tough matchup for Sean, obviously with his incredible striking, his incredible wrestling, where I think Sean's just a little too undimensional. And then you have Song Yadong taking on Sean O'Malley, man. Imagine Merab gets the rematch with Petr Yan, win or lose. Then he fights the winner of Umar, Deiveson, O'Malley, and Song Yadong, guys. The UFC Bantamweight is super hot right now. There's so many new matchups that we can talk about, that we're going to be talking about on the 10-7. We're going to be talking about this Friday, guys. I have become very excited to see if Merab can get his belt back and how long the route that Merab is going to have to get his belt back. Is he going to get an immediate title match? Is he going to have to wait in the shadows right now? I don't see Merab hanging in the shadows. I see him taking a fight in the next 3 or 4 months, and I'm really hoping it's that championship fight, guys. Tell me what you think. Merab has already beat Petr Yan. Petr Yan said he came in the fight compromised, had an incredible showing. And to beat Merab twice is going to be a tall task, but to beat Petr Yan twice is going to be a tall task. So, guys, tell me what you think in the comments. What do you want to see happen in the bantamweight division?